the best of my knowledge, this is in fact Imperial Might. It has exactly 50 cards. I think some say they have Shadowfin Priest and Manacora and Goldbrand and Orb of Vermina if you even go for it. On the most part, this is the 50 card version, one you're more likely to have, minus, the upgraded cards. It is yellow and purple, which is willpower and endurance, together make Spell Sword. 32 creatures, 17 actions, a support, 10 prophecies. Wouldn't rely on those prophecies, but they do make a fifth of the deck. Curve, it has some lower cost creatures. It's not god awful by any means. And favors yellow. First card, suppress, silence a creature. Can silence your own guy if you get shackled or something. Or you can silence a card like this, Cheydinhal Sapper, so your opponent can't get drained. But hey, Cheydinhal Sapper. Lethal, deadly Draugr. You could silence his lethal. If you, of course, decide to upgrade the Draugr to this Draugr as opposed to the other one. Fine, I'll show it. Who is Deadly Draugr? Deathless Draugr. You could upgrade it to him. No, get out. And instead of having lethal, you just summon another Draugr. Well, actually, skeleton. Okay. 3 copies of Scouting Patrol, which just summons a 1/1 grunt in each lane. Bruma Profiteer, aggressively statted. Every time you summon another creature, gain a health. Fararun Defender? Sure, let's go with that. Has a sweet axe and a shield. It's Prophecy Guard. 5th Legion Trainer, she's one of the ones that will most likely get killed the turn after you play it. And then there's Bruma Armorer, who will indefinitely be targeted and singled out and be given all hell. But he's further down the list. After you play another creature, give it an extra attack. And that's one of the reasons it gets targeted a lot. Now keep her, 5th Legion Trainer, back of your mind, because I'll emphasize why she gets targeted, along with Bruma Armorer. Healing Potion. This, I think, is actually Apprentice's Potion before it turns into Healing Potion, and it gains the Prophecy. But, it gives you 5 health. Imprison used to be, I think, Detain, and it would normally just shackle, but once you upgrade it, if you have 4 or more yellow creatures, the creature you would have shackled is destroyed instead of being shackled. I was going to say detained, I don't know why. Kvatch Soldier, he's one of the better cards. I don't know why they only thought it, just one, really. He's one of the better ones. Low cost, defensively statted, good for trading. And then they put Skingad Patroller in here. I would take her out and put another Kvatch Soldier in. But anywho. I mean, she doesn't have a dang thing. She's just aggressively statted. If she had Breakthrough, that would be nice. But anywho. I mean, heck, you might as well just make her a 1. Or not a 1, a 2/3/1 with Breakthrough. But anywho. Barbed Guar. A neutral card. It's neutral's neutral. It's not yellow, which some of the cards want. But you can give it or another creature guard. Actually, it does not even say friendly. You could give an enemy creature guard. I don't know why you would want to do that. Oh, because if you're in the shadow lane, you could give a creature that's going to do something crazy guard, so that way it doesn't have its cover anymore. If you really wanted to do that, but you could. Anywho, Bruma Armorer, when you play another creature, give it to health or defense, whatever you want to call it. That is very powerful and very obnoxious, and he normally gets firebolted. He might even get lightning bolted or piercing javelined. I wouldn't be surprised if he got Verdict of Azora, because that can give your opponent some hell. Imperial Legion A is just a 3/3. Why do they even make cards like this? Give him, a summon ability of gain 2 health or something. You know what? Why isn't he the one who gives guard? Only one copy of Two Moons, which is a support, and if you don't get damaged on any one of your opponent's turns whilst this card is in play, it destroys itself and gives you a Priest of the Moon in each lane. And it says right there, a Priest of the Moon is a 2/2, and you do in fact gain 2 health for each one, which means you gain a total of 4 health, which I was jokingly saying that this guy should do. But I know it doesn't. It's kind of weird though, because this is an Imperial deck. This is a Khajiit support that gives you Khajiits. Anywho, Curse Spectre. He is a prophecy, which is great because his stats are crap. You shouldn't really play him unless there's really a creature that has a whole bunch of stuff on it that you want to silence the buffs of, like weapons and, I don't know, just whatever the freak. You could silence his ability and he won't summon a skeleton. You could summon his ability, he won't have a silence his ability and he won't have a ward. And if his power was doubled, it would go back to a 1. You could play Encumbered Explorer and silence his shackling ability, which after he attacks he shackles himself, which makes him useless the next turn. You could just silence him if you were playing him, and he would just always be able to attack. So you can silence your own creatures. I mean, heck, I think I have silenced my own guys from being shackled from my opponent before. Fortunately, I'm only playing one of these because, again, cost to stat ratio, better make that silence count. Verdict of Azora is a very good card. Why? Because it's versatile. It can either destroy an enemy creature, meaning yes, it bypasses ward, and it destroys it outright, or you can destroy a support, which can be a lifesaver. It can also, be a dead card in your hand. I'm kidding. It's pretty much never a dead card in your hand. Imperial Reinforcements. Fill a lane with 1/1 grunts. Unfortunately, if you have a unit or 2 in the lane, it will only summon 2 instead of 4. But at the same time, if you have this in solo arena or something and the lane's expanded, you summon more of them. And why this card is good is because when you play Bruma Armorer and 5th Legion Trainer, all of these grunts that hopefully you summon all 4 of aren't just 1/1s, they're 2/3s, which, holy crap. And of course, if you have Bruma Armorer and 5th Legion Trainer and you get a Midnight Sweep off from Prophecies, you summon a 2/2 Clovian Trooper with Guard in each lane, which instead of being 2/2, they would be a 3/4. And it's crap like that why Bruma Armor always gets the removals. Warcry gives friendly creatures in A lane +2 attack this turn. So when you have Imperial Reinforcements and they're all a bunch of 2/3s, you can make them all a bunch of 4/3s for a turn, and that is devastating. Heck, you can play both copies and stack it and make them, good lord, 6/3. Oh my god. It's terrifying. Disciple in America is very specific. It's not a bad card, but in order for her to get you the draw, because she gives you a draw, but only when another friendly creature in the lane that she's in dies. A friendly creature in the lane that she's in dies, excluding her. That's very specific. Can be really good, though. Siege Engine is probably going to be your friend in this deck because with all the tokens, as they're referred to, Scouting Patrol, Two Moons, Midnight Sweep, Imperial Reinforcements, Siege Engine gets +1/1 for every other friendly creature. You would think Siege Engine would have Breakthrough, but it does not. However, well, I won't get into that. It would be nice if you had Breakthrough. Piercing Jab, Prophecy, Destroy Creature. Watch Commander. Does not have Guard, but gives friendly guards an extra attack and 2 points of health. If you're somehow able to give her Guard, you should definitely do that because then she'll buff herself. Blackworm, Necromancer, and Golden Saint are not only both 6/4/4s, but they both require you to have more health than your opponent. And with Necromancer, if you have more health than your opponent, you summon a random creature from your discard pile to the lane that he is in, unless that lane is full. If there is room in the other lane, if there is room, it will go to that lane. And if both of your lanes are full, then I don't know why you played this card, unless you really needed to get the unit out there. Because then his ability won't work. Well, it also won't work if your health is lower than your opponent's. But Golden Saint, whom by the way is Daedra, has Guard, and if you have more health than your opponent, if there is room, to remember that, you summon a copy of Golden Saint in the other lane. If Golden Saint is buffed for any reason in your hand, the buffs will not apply to the copy that is made. The copy will only be a 4/4. Night Shadow is originally Night Patroller, and it is upgraded. I have it upgraded to Night Shadow, which gives me Drain. Well, I guess it would give you anyone Drain. And is a vampire. The other choice you could upgrade to is a werewolf, Night Predator, which has Breakthrough and Regenerate. So depending on which you go with, you'll either get the werewolf or the vampire. Personally, I recommend the Drain. Drain is very invaluable in this game. Kind of keeps you alive. Dang it, Nathan. Legionnaire Dang it, Nathan. He gives 1/1 to other friendly creatures. Period. It doesn't matter what lane they're in, just as long as it's not him and it's a friendly creature, it gets +1/1. Which, again, with reinforcements and Midnight Sweep, it's very good. Renowned Legate is some other kind of Legate. I think he's Rising Legate. His stats are the same. His cost is the same. They both have Breakthrough, and they both summon a Grunt. The only difference is he, the upgraded version, gives you a point of health for each friendly creature you have on the field. And of course, there's Night Talon Lord, who is Valve some other, whatever the heck he is, who's a 7/7/7 with Drain. And you can either upgrade him to Blood Magic Lord, which I don't recommend, because the Blood Magic spells are far too random. And you have to you get one when you summon him, but in order to get more, you have to keep killing things. Or you can have slightly better stats, because he's only a 6/6, Or you can have the 8/8 with Drain, I highly recommend. And if you decide you want to kill a creature, you summon that creature in the lane that he's in, unless it's full, in which case it goes to the other lane, in which case, if that lane, both lanes are full, you don't summon it. I highly recommend going with him. There's far more control and other stuff involved, like draining and better stats and all that. And that's this deck. It has a lot of not Imperials in it, but it can be very good. I would advise swapping a few things out, but that's for another time.